Everybody, welcome one and all to the brand new season of the MRS League. This is season 9, the season opener as well. So hopefully you can all hear me. I do hope. And yeah, looking forward to this one. So as I say, brand new to the commentary team here in MRS League. 11 drivers we are, but my name is Mark. I am, as I said, brand new to this. Not new to the commentary scene, though, but yeah, new to this league. So exciting times. It's going to be an interesting one, of course. Season opener, we've got, well, a new championship. I think 12 rounds that we have in this league. So let's see how we go as qualifying starts here at the Imola Grand Prix. The Emilia-Romagna track. There's a few drivers now starting to leave the pit lane. We've got Mulson there on track. Who else we got? Mike Taylor. And a few drivers that I am a little bit familiar with in the racing scene. Mr. Grimaud leaving the pit lane. Monster as well, staying in the pits. And let's have a look. Let's have a look at the tyres. Everyone on the soft tyres. A little bit overcast. Not sure yet what is going to happen in the race in terms of who is, well, what's the weather going to be like? That is the key thing. We don't know yet, but everyone out there already on the soft tyres, so could indicate that we're going to have a good dry race, and we will see how this one goes for us. A little bit different for me tonight, I'm not going to lie, ladies and gents, because this is my first time on solo commentary for quite a long time. So I do apologise as I'm just getting used to it. But hopefully you can all hear me. Hopefully you can all see what's on track as well, as we're gearing up for the 18-minute qualifying session that we have here this evening. And the first person is going to be Blood Diamond in the RB, followed by Thomas as well. Drivers just trying to get the heat in the tyres early on. Really struggling, even on the soft tyres. So it's quite interesting to see that they're actually struggling with the heat. And normally around here it's quite easy to do on the soft tyres to get the heat into them. But short lap, surprisingly, it's a very busy lap, a couple of DRS zones which we'll go through during the course of qualifying. Well, Thomas is the first one out on track, still weaving. He's sort of built on his lap. 2 warm-up laps by a few of these drivers. Blood Diamond, no such troubles for him though. He's on his way with a purple second sector, with the Viriarty Alta bounces over the curbs nicely, doesn't take too much of that inside curb, can really unsettle the car, but no such problems for him into the final 2 corners. And then out now, down as the run towards the start-finish straight. And what's the opening lap time going to be? It's a 1:15.8 from him. I'm just getting us all geared up here, folks. I do apologise. We were a little bit delayed in getting everything hooked up. But hopefully everyone can hear me. If you can't, please do pop a message into the YouTube chat and we'll see what we can do if there's any issues. But time's coming thick and faster. 15.9 from Grimmer. Good opening lap. As we mentioned, a few drivers just taking a little bit longer to warm their tyres to start their first flying laps of this 18-minute qualifying session, followed by a 50% race. A little bit different, as I mentioned. There's quite a few cars on track. There's Aston Martin, a little bit in the way there of Don Walsh as he's going up the hill into the Piratella. Oh, very sideways at the top there. Easy to go wide to invalidate your lap time. But no such problems. Keeps it up the bank now. What can he do in the Viriarty Alta? A lot of traffic in that middle sector. Going to really hamper him unless he's very lucky and everyone moves out of the way. A little bit, like we said, there's I think that might be Molson there starting his run, or even finishing his lap. DMS wide open for Don Walsh. He does a 16.6 for his opening lap time. Liquid Gas, 15.5. Good opening run from him. Let's have a look who's on a lap time. That will be Molson. There he is, going through the first the Tamburello chicane. Down to the very anti-Villeneuve. Easy again to run wide. And into the Tosa hairpin. Up the hill he goes. What can he do as he goes through turn 8? There it was. Missed it. There you go. And into turn 9. Piratella at the top of the hill. Turn 10. There it was. Going down the hill. Into the very fast turn 11. Hard braking. Doesn't want to run too wide, but nice. You can use that exit curve quite nicely to your advantage, which Molson uses very, very well into the very anti-alta. Again, everyone using, keep it that second part, which is turn 15, a wide breadth, so he gets the better exit down the hill into the final Rivazza corners. Easy to run wide and outbrake yourself into the first part with a downhill braking zone, but gets a good drive towards the line. And what's this lap time going to be? It is a 1:17.1. For some reason I do not have the lap data on. There it is. Sorry about that, folks. As I mentioned, please do get involved in the YouTube chat. We'd love it to have you with us. So let's have a look who's starting. Connor is on an out lap. He invalidated this one, just charging his batteries. Everyone's doing 2 or 3 fast laps, which is quite interesting on this set of tyres. So it makes me wonder that there could potentially be a little bit of wet weather coming in the race. So that's going to be an interesting one. But, ooh, Connor all to sorts as he's gearing up for his lap. Let's ride on board with him and do a fast lap around this incredible and stunning Imola circuit. The very anti-Barca, the long straight, DRS wide open, 202 mile an hour, heavy braking into the Tamburello chicane, gets a nice exit, using quite a bit of his battery at this early point of the lap into the Villeneuve, takes it very cautiously. You'd have to say, I wonder if he's running a bit of a skinny setup, and that's why he's struggling with the rear a little bit through this. But there we go, through Tosa, up the hill now. Through there was turn 8, here's turn 9, Piratella. Oh, runs a little bit wide, doesn't invalidate, luckily. And then heavy braking, takes the fourth corner, uses a little bit the exit, the entry curves there. That's not probably the most optimal line through there, really unsettles the car. And then late into the very anti-alta, as mentioned. I think there's a lot more to come from Connor, who used all of his battery as well, so that's going to really hurt him towards the line. Keeps it neat through Rivazza, gets on the exit curb now. This push towards the line, last little bit of his battery comes up quite quickly, the line, so it's not too bad at 17.2. I think there's a good, maybe a second I think he could have in that car. Let's have a look who is, oh, tell you what, let's have a look at Mr. Monster. Good friend of mine personally. It's known him from other racing circles, we shall say. Not going to go into any detail, of course. We don't promote other leagues. We're all professional. Well, sometimes. A little bit professional, shall we say. Monster on an outlap in the Scarlet Red Ferrari. His teammate just ahead of him at this moment in time. Few changes going on to Monster setup, so let's see how he gets on his next run. Only 8 minutes left already of this qualifying session. It does now fly over, doesn't it? And if you do a few laps like the guys have done in the top 4, they're going to be using this next set of soft tyres for this next part of qualifying. Will they do a short run? Will they then wait and just do one final flyer towards the end of this session? Monster taking quite a wide line through there, keeping well away from the curves, but he's a little bit up on his time, just over a 10th. The Aston Martin getting well out of the way. as he's up to the top of the hill and keeps a good berth to the exit, of course, at the top of the hill where it can really go horribly wrong. Good exit from the bottom of the hill and then up towards Viviente. Now what can he do towards the end of this lap? It's looking quite steady for him. Enough battery left as well. Into Rivatsa. Takes that very nicely. Thomas, what a fantastic lap on those medium tyres. Morse uses every bit of track as well. Perfectly done towards the exit. What can he do? A 59 does improve by 0.3, so he's up into 5th. Gumo's on track as well, starting his lap behind Monster. But tell you what, Thomas and Liquid Gas on the medium tyres. Jack is Liquid Gas here. That's a great lap from him. Very, very close at the top. Less than 1/10 of a second. Well, just over 1/10 of a second separating the top 4. Grimo, oh, nearly loses it. But on his way, he will go. Let's have a look at one of the Mercedes men. It's, it's Vexman. I've never come across a name just like that before. Well, I probably have. But is he going to curse you? Is he going to be giving you a spell or some kind of vex or a hex this evening? Let's see what he can do in this opening qualifying session of the season. Already 6 minutes left to go. Some drivers be pitting, getting ready to put their final set of tyres on and doing one final run. But here we go, Vex up the hill. On the soft tyres, fresh soft tyres, well, he'll have drained every little bit of fuel out of it, of that Mercedes car. And seeing what he can do. The car at its most optimum, at its lightest, at its most responsive as well. It seems very nice and neat so far, and he's 2 and a bit tenths up. Currently uses both inside curbs and the Viviente Alta very nicely indeed. And now he comes down the hill using a little bit more of his battery, just help with that speed overall through the gears where he'd be more comfortable. And there we go, so he's using his hot lap, and he's now going to be using the final bit, I'm sure, of the overtake button as it's pushed towards the line. And what is this lap going to be? It's in the 16, 16.1, good improvement as well. Very, very close, a second separating the top 8 as it stands. Connor's improved as well to a 17.2. Mike Taylor in the pits. I'm sure we're going to see. Jack decided he's going to go grass cutting this evening. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not useful. You're not going to get much out of those medians if that's how you're going to treat them, my friend. Well, I say, please do get involved, especially if you're in the MRS Discord and in the league. Please do get involved with us. We'd love to hear your comments. And it is a pleasure, as I've mentioned, to be here this evening. Like I say, a bit of a new territory for me, new people, apart from a few that, like I say, I've had raced within circles before, but not used to being on my own. We do have, practice my trade, we should call it. We have 2 of us, so there's a co-commentator as well as the lead commentator. Evening, Kugas, thank you for joining us as well. Good luck from you, my friend. I'm sure we've got more to come in the final stages of this qualifying session. And of course, the 50% race. We're not sure yet what the weather's going to do. I did only join the Discord last night, so I've been trying to work up the rules myself, so I do apologise, folks. But as the season progresses, of course, I'll bring you more news and more updates, of course, of how the racing operates in this league, as Connor has improved into the 16s now. So 1.5 seconds separating the grid of 11 drivers, which does go to show, no matter what happens in early stages of races, if you have a spin, if you have wing damage, it's important to still keep going, because you never know what is going to happen. And this is going to be proof of it. One little retirement and you're in the points. That's all it takes. No matter if you're a lap down, keep on going. 25% have to use their quali tyre. What? Wait, what? Wow. So, that's interesting. Okay, so that explains why a few of those drivers were using a 3 or 4 laps, get those tyres gone, and then using one more push and using them in the race. So that is a really nice little touch that don't have in the league I operate in, but this is going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, who then can look after their tyres the best towards the end of their qualifying session. It seems to get a little bit brighter. The sun's coming out now. So the track's going to be heating up, warming up that air a little bit more, but giving the drivers a little bit more grip. But on the flip side of that, the sun can really cause a bit of drama to all these drivers as well, can really make judging the braking points, their turning points, just that little bit more difficult. But how will they cope? How's Molson getting on? Looks quite nice and neat at this moment in time. How's he going to be at the end of the second sector? He's up a little bit on his time. This could take him ahead of his teammate as it stands, and his teammate will not get another lap in if he has a monster final sector. This could take him up to where PT is in the Ferrari. But everybody now, look at this. Top 7 all out on track. So we're going to see the final runs thick and fast. What can Molson do? He goes into 16.5. He doesn't quite. Wow, 7,000 behind his teammate. So he will line up 9th as Vexman is leaving the pits. He's going to have enough time to get a lap in. PT's on and out lap. Let's have a look at the current pole sitter down on his time. This will probably be his final run. No, he has cut his ARS off, so he will get one more run at it. And who will take the first pole position of season 9 in MRS? We've got, I think that might be Dom Walsh, could actually be Mike Taylor on a fast lap going through there on Thomas. Let's have a quick look at where everybody is on their outlaps. Monster just starting his lap time with 26 seconds left, so he's absolutely fine with that. It was actually Dom Walsh that was pushing through. He's now starting his final lap, but he's got Thomas right behind him as well. A little too close maybe later in the session, but he's got to get a very, very nice tour down the start-finish straight where it matters. Currently in provisional pole. Let's have a quick look at the man in second. He's way up on his final time. Wow, this could be a very quick lap from Jack. Really tips it in down the bottom of the hill, and then up we go once more into the final chicane. The Vivian Telter, 6/10 up. We're going to be in the 1:14s here, folks. This is going to be one heck of a lap time, and it's going to be an incredible end. As we said, the track is ramping up. It's rubbering in as we get Blood Diamond does. He's observed his teammate by 0.005 of a second. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. I think Jack's going to take him. We're going to be in the 1:14s. We are the 1:14.7. What a lap that is. What's the V-Carb doing? I thought he was going to be a little bit stuck behind the RB, who is on a fast lap, does not have to move over. He is pushing hard. Grimo 15.3 as well. Wow, Aston Martin currently 1-2 with the RB 3 and 4 as it stands. What can Thomas do coming out the final corner? What can the Red Bull do ahead of him? Let's have a look. Oh, Thomas does. He gets to the front row. Great last sector. Dom improves as well. So, wow. What a great lap. What is PT doing? I think he was down. He's given in on his lap times. So there we are, folks. Wow. First qualifying session. All happened at the end. Lap times coming thick and fast. And we'll run you through the grid order in just a moment. There it is. Liquid Gas takes the first pole position of the year with Thomas in second place. Grimo with a great qualifying session. He's in third. Blood Diamond in fourth. Aston Visa Cash Apps locking out the first two rows. Then we've got Dom Walsh in the Red Bull. Then the two Ferraris, PT and Monster. Then Mike Taylor in the other Red Bull. Then we've got the two Mercedes of Vexman, Molson and Connor in 11th. Good qualifying. Interesting use of tyres, of course, like I said, new to me, but interesting use of who's using them now for the race. They've got to use those tyres in the race. So who's going to look after them? Who's going to be pushing hard on the tyres, but beautiful weather, beautiful sunshine. It is a very, very long pit lane here. You would have to say the one-stop strategy is usually the optimum strategy. But with a lot of these drivers starting on the soft tyres, how long can they take them? Will they then opt for the mediums if they're looking after their tyres, or are we going to see the hard tyre come into play? And split strategies maybe amongst the teams because they are very, very close on the grid. Yeah, there's a lot to play for here. A lot of unanswered questions and a lot of thinking and scratching of heads, I think, at this moment in time. And, of course, the ever-present safety car round here could give a cheap pit stop. I say cheap, it's actually still a very long pit stop in itself because of the length of the pit lane. But under safety car conditions, could help you massively throughout. Sorry about that, folks. Had a little bit of microphone disconnection there. So sorry about that. So everyone now just getting used to their strategies. Are they going to change their setups slightly? Usually it's parc fermé conditions. I'm presuming MRS is the same. But fuel loads, tyre strategies, there's little bits that can change, of course. They could change the brake bias a little bit. Maybe someone hasn't quite got the front end grip in qualifying, so they could just be upping their front wing slightly to give them a little bit more of that front downforce around where it's ever important to do. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Hopefully we'll be getting lights underway very, very soon. But as I was mentioned, what if you're ready? If you're waiting, join us in the YouTube chat. Love to hear your thoughts. And we'll see how we're getting on so far. What did you think of your qualifying sessions, everybody who were in there? But all quiet in the Western Front at the moment. Monster said he invalidated his final lap. That's really, really unlucky, my friend. But again, still got a chance of points around here. And I know it's a circuit you like well and do very well at. So here we go. The formation lap is underway. Let's have a quick look at those tyres. So, interesting. Good split amongst them. So, top three, which we mentioned, the 25% have got to use their qualifying tyre. So, pardon me, they are on the soft compound tyres. Easy to own, they'll get a good grip off the line, but everybody behind is able to use a free set of tyres. So Blood Diamond, Dom Walsh, Monster and PG Connor are on the medium tyres, and PT, Mike Taylor and the two Mercedes on the hard compound tyres. Now, personally, I like that strategy. I think that could run really well, especially if we don't have any stoppages, shall we call it, in the first part of this race. They could be in a really good position late on if they can keep with the pack and not drop too far away and see them come charging through towards the end. Same for those on the medium tyres. Then we know the drop off isn't bad on the medium tyres, so they could, once they get them up to temperature in about a lap or so, they will be really looking just to get the heads down, get into a rhythm, and we'll see what they can do over the course of this Grand Prix. Also to Jack, not hanging around, trying to get the heat into the tyres as well. It's so important to get that heat. The grip needs to be there. But of course, infamous circuit, this one of the classics. Some say it sort of had its moment, it's had its time, but I'm not really on board with that one, even though the tragedies we had, of course, that ill-fated weekend in 1994, no one will ever forget what happened there. But now in Wilson, needs to learn how to park his car. Unfortunately, he's had 9 seasons. He should be able to do it. But now, here we go. Season 9 is about to get underway with 5 red lights. And now we are about to go racing its lights out. And let's go on board with leaking gas because we had an absolute terrible camera angle. Great start from Grimo as well, getting pushed and squeezed, but he's got the jump on Thomas and he's going to have the inside line. Jack's defending, Grimo's got the inside line, forces him a little bit wide. Oh, the both go wide! Thomas has just about crept in from Grimo. Now Grimo's under pressure from Blood Diamond. He's got Tom Walsh as well, but look at that, Blood Diamond's made the move through. Disaster from Grimo, fantastic first phase, but Thomas was not giving that one up in any way, shape or form. Bounced across Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton-esque, going across the variant Del Morello chicane, and now here we go. Jack has got that lead up to 0.6 of a second. Monster had a good start as well from him. He's ahead of his teammate Connor, not so great unfortunately for him, but everyone still knows the tail. Everyone's clean on this first lap. Now then, Grimo's just going to have to get his head down, but he's going to want to get that place back. Oh, who was that? That was Vexman. Got very much out of sorts in the Viviante Alta on this opening lap. 32 laps to go. DRS is going to be active the end of this lap, so it's important now for everybody to, well, it's going to be important for Jack to get away as much as he possibly can from Thomas. We're not going to show any of the battery. If we happen to show it, well, look at you. Monster, good push through as well, gets past Tom Walsh. He's now up into 5th. Good racing now against, he's behind his friend Grimo. So what can Mark do about the prancing horse behind him? Of course, on the medium tyres is Monster, so now those will start to come into play, where the softs, yes, they're okay, but heavy fuel, personally I'm not a fan, because I just think you can't get the grip. You don't feel, the car's not as lively, you don't seem to feel the extra grip that you get from even the mediums or the hard tyres in the opening stages, and you don't feel what it's like in qualifying. You've just used the softs in qualifying, and now you've got to use them with heavy fuel, and it's going to be very, very tricky. But that gap at the top really starting to come down nose to tail. Jack under pressure from both the V-carbs at this moment in time. But that's what it's going to be like. He's not got anyone to help him. He is there in front of these long straights where DRS is only down the start and finish straight. Only one DRS zone here in Imola, but it now sees what we can do. What is Thomas going to do? He's going to have the wing open. There it is. Grimo, that's a fast lap of the race. Good lap from Grimo as he's closed that gap now to the top 2. But Jack is a lot, just a bit quicker down the straight. Thomas couldn't do much about it, but Jack's used a bit of his battery, starting to conserve. You see the flashing light in the back, the Aston Martin starting to conserve already. Blood Diamond just sitting there, corner 3-second warning already. That's unlucky for him, but he's past Vexman. That's going to be a little battle for the final points competition. Mike Taylor 3 seconds as well. I think he must have gone wide at the Villeneuve chicane. Easy to do. Thomas looking on Jack. Can't make it through at this moment in time. Not gonna lie, I have raced against Jack for a number of seasons. I know how quick the man is. I know how good he is at defending as well. Knows how to position the car. Really clever driver. But look at this. Who's that further back? Grimo. It's actually Monster and Tom Walsh very close together, both on the medium tyres. They're just looking to keep up there. Monster doing a good job with his defence at this moment in time. Ooh, takes a little bit more of the inside curve. That could have been a potential warning, especially if they use the strict corner cutting rule, which I feel is probably the better one, really. Don Walsh has now set the fast lap time, but look at this, Thomas is a little closer this time. He's had to go to the outside, swing to the outside. Where's, oh, there he was, just trying to get the switch back. It's Jack, can he get it done? He's getting closer, bails out of it. And Blood Diamond couldn't even make headway either. Grimo Monster having a good little ding-dong as well. Not sure what happened there, but look at this. We've got Tom Walsh involved as well. He's gone around the outside of Monster, and Monster's teammate as well, having a little bit of a look. Dominic Monster's teammate on the hard tyres. This is a great showing for him and Mike Taylor in the Red Bull. Hard compound tyres. He's now got 6 seconds as Mike. That's really, really going to hurt him at the end of this race, especially if it's all close like it is at this moment in time. The top four still unchanged. Dom's just sort of pulled a little bit of a gap, but he's hovered at that 1 second window, and it is so important. Mike Taylor's getting penalties for fun at this moment in time. Sorry about that, Mike. Hopefully you can keep on going, my friend. Get your head down, and you'll, I'm sure, keep on the back. You're on the hard tyres. You've got to be patient at this moment in time, and you will make your way through, I'm sure, towards the end of this race. But look at this. Dom did have a great final sector, great final two corners, was able to keep within the DRS, but tell you what's difficult, we've got Monster, there's his team on the outside, and it lets him through. Got the overspeed. Monster knew what was coming and did the smart move, let his teammate go through. He's on the hard, oh, Connor, oh, who was that went? Just Connor, straight on, I think it was. He's in the pits, no, sorry, he's in the pit lane. Who was it went on? It was Mike Taylor. Oh, Mike. Oh, it's been a disaster, really hard first 5 laps in this opening race for you, my friend. Keep going, there's no damage by the looks of it to that Red Bull, so he'll be able to keep on going. Connor, yeah, retired in the pit lane. Hopefully he'll be back next week. Let's have a look at this lead Ferrari now. On the back of this train, Jack does have very, very good straight line speed. So he's just doing what he needs to do down the start-finish straight, the exit from Avata, to keep ahead of the charging V-carbs in the DRS zone. Let's get rid of those tyres now. Let's have a quick look at the position changes. There's not many so far. Molson had the best start. He's up into 8th from 10th. Mike, unfortunately, with that moment he had, is down into 10th, and then Blood Diamond and Grim are the only ones to change position at this moment in time. Now let's get rid of that. Let's get more racing on the screen, because I feel we're going to have a lot of it into turn 1 as Thomas tried to have a look again, can't make it done, and Blood Diamond has to sit there. Grimo as well, Don Walsh, PT and Monster all nose to tail. This is incredible nose to tail, very fair, very good racing between them. I think Grimo got a little bit wide into the first part of the Villeneuve chicane, but Don Walsh can't do anything about it at this moment in time. Into Tosa now, he's got to sort of sit there now for the remainder of the lap, and everyone else is behind, just playing ball. But look at this, 0.3 of a second separating the top 3. This is incredible nose to tail racing between them all. A mix of tyres. Well, don't forget Blood Diamond is on the medium tyres, I do believe. Let me just double check that one. I am correct. So is Thomas. How on earth did Thomas... What a move that was from Thomas. But look at this. Blood Diamond's now having to go on Jack. What can Jack do? He's now pushed to the outside. Can he brake late? He leaves the room on the inside, but he's got the better track position and makes it stick. Stays in second. How is his exit going to be, though, against the back of Thomas? We've said before that he's got a quicker car in a straight line, and look at that, he's making it work, and now he's got it. Grimo managed to get 3 seconds penalty in a straight line. Not really sure how he managed to do it, but he did. He's a special man. It's Mr. Goodman, and he managed to get 3 seconds in a place that nobody else can. I do believe, did we just see some, was it a board? Did we just see some carbon fibre flying in this battle with Grimo, Don Walsh and the 2 Ferraris? I'm not 100% what it was. The cars are looking okay at this moment in time, though. Monster just needs to do what he's doing. Oh, that was Grimo getting very, very wide at the top of the hill. And look at that, just holds Don Walsh back at this moment in time. But crucially, with that 3 second penalty, he's also dropped over a second now. But look at this, they're still fighting into Viviante Alta. Has the Red Bull got the better drive on the exit? Not quite, but Grimo crucially outside, well outside at this moment in time. Wow, what's happened there? Dom had a really poor exit of the Viviante, and PT on the hard tyres has taken full advantage. Monster's going to try and have a look as well through the exit. This has allowed Molson to catch up as well with all these guys squabbling, and he's taken advantage, really caught Monster napping, but is he going to take the Red Bull napping as well? They're 3 wide down the start finish straight. Wow. I'm so glad it's a wide start finish straight, but look at this, the Red Bull's been swamped. Molson, the big winner, takes 2 places down the start-finish straight. Monster, after all, that sort of keeps his position. Don Wolf's the loser through that. Grimo as well, he's struggled, and he is now, because he was outside of that DRS train, Petey, the man on the hard tyres, they are going to really start coming into their run now. They are going to start really pushing on. They're going to start feeling very stable. He's going to know exactly where the grip is, where he can push. He's going to know how they're going to react on the brakes, on the throttle, on turning. And that Ferrari actually does look very, very nice through the bottom of the hill there. That gap was over 1.5, and he's closed slightly. Well, actually, it's closed quite a bit now. Look at that, 1.2 seconds is the gap. You'll have to have a mighty Vatsa if he has any hope of getting within the DRS this time round, where the DRS is worth roughly, give or take, 0.7 of a second. It can be on a car that doesn't have it if they are not using all of their battery. But let's go back to this top 3 where Jack fighting away with both the liquid carbs, liquid B carbs, liquid whatever they want to be. B-Carb, MasterCard, Mortgage. There was a bit of contact definitely through there. Not sure who it was. I don't know if that was nose cone and just a bits of carbon fibre flashing up. But I think that's what we saw before. No visible damage to any car at this moment in time. But Thomas retakes the lead once again. Whilst everybody, Dom Walsh, I wonder what's happened to Dom. He's dropped off the back of Monster to 2 seconds now. I wonder if he's just got a little bit of damage that's not visible but really hurting the car, and maybe it's just not reacting the way that he wants it to do at this moment in time. But that gap now, Grimo's got back ahead of Petey under the DRS last time out. We're not even a third of the way through, folks, already, and we've seen so many overtaking action throughout this. Monster taking a different line up the hill, absolutely fine for him to do that. There's no harm whatsoever. Some people prefer that line and then swing it across the left-hand side for the final chicane. But look at this, wow, I think Blood Diamond may have outbroke himself there. I just got back to the other group and then saw Blood Diamond dash across the first part of the accident, and I think he just outcooked it slightly. Jack had to take avoiding action, but no harm done to any driver there. It's allowed Grimo to get a little bit closer. Petey there, you can see in the background, has gone through. Mike Taylor, another 3-second penalty. Look at this, side by side through the first few corners. Thomas just about holds on. Can Jack hold on from Blood Diamond behind him? Just about he can. And these drivers do very, very well, have to be said, on the on the soft tyres. Of course, they were worn in qualifying, so they're going to have a few percentage wears on it. The heat cycle's gone through them. Blood Diamond at the minute on those medium tyres looking ever threatening. It looks a lot more comfortable on turning, on throttle as well. Petey closed that gap hugely now. Look at that, only 0.6. Told you those hards are going to start coming in. That's the point now where we seem to be getting to the crossover where the softs aren't doing much in comparison to the drivers on the harder compound tyres. The mediums looking strong at this moment, plus the hard compound tyres. Petey, the leader of those drivers on, and then we've got the leader. Thomas is the first one to blink. Thomas has pitted. Let's give a look at these tyres. Let's see what he is deciding to go on for the final 21 laps of this race. And after all that, look at that. Petey now takes the lead. Where did that come from? Wow. The drive he got off with Vatsa, well, the Liquid Gas and Blood Diamond were having a little bit of a fight. Oh, severe collision. Dom Walsh and Molson. Molson's out. Where is that? The car's gone, I think. It has. It has. So, safety car. This could not have come at a worse time for Thomas. He was already in the pits. So everybody ahead gets their pit stop now on lap 11. This is perfect for Grimo, perfect for Liquid Gas, perfect for probably the people who didn't start on the hard tyres. This is probably coming at the worst time for Petey. He's going to have to try something different, try to eke maybe the mediums out towards for the next 20 laps or so. I think they'll do it. The mediums look good on Monster, on Dom, and onto Blood Diamond. He looked very comfortable indeed. But is everyone going to pit? Yeah, we thought we would see it. So, oh, interesting. Blood Diamond decided no, he is going to stay out. Wow. Everybody behind is now pitting. Vexman stays out on the hard tyres. Kind of could expect that a little bit. I think Monster got held up slightly in the pit stops from PT, who was ahead. PT's gone to the softs. So that's a nailed on 2-stop strategy for PT. He'll get those another 10, 11 laps, as we've just seen, where the soft runners were. Everyone else going for the hard tyres. They're looking to make this their one and only stop of the race. Thomas got away with it. Thomas has got up ahead of Liquid Gas once more, just by a second. So he got lucky a little bit with that, because there were nose to tail, don't forget, folks, when that safety car came out. So very, very lucky for him. The people who are going to struggle because they've caught the safety car, the top two, it's Vexman and Blood Diamond. Blood Diamond on those mediums. Will he be ruining that chance to go in the pits? I would have to say he will be. I think if I was Vexman, I think I would have done the same thing as well. They may not have a huge amount of wear on those hard tyres. He thinks he could probably go quite deep into this race. Maybe if he's got a set of soft tyres left towards the end and set a few fast laps coming through the field, we shall see and keep our eye on him. But everyone now, a bit of a gap. We'll just let everybody close up a little bit more. Mike Taylor, another 3-second one. Let's have a look at those penalties. Mike Taylor, 30 seconds. But I'm sure it could just be one of those off nights for Mike. I'm sure he'll bounce back next time out. PT and Grimmo are the only other drivers with 3 seconds. So it's important, really, I would say, for Mike, just to keep it on the black stuff. Don't push too hard. And you're in the points. So just need to bring it home now. 19 more laps we will have, and I do believe the safety car coming to the end of this lap. Mike Taylor not too far behind the pack, which you can see in the bottom right hand side of the screen. But an interesting one now. As we said, a lot of drivers have fitted. PT on the soft tyres. I'm going to be interested to see what he can do with them, get those fired up very early with everyone on the hard tyres around him, and then the two ahead, the top two on those worn, harder compound tyres. See what PT can do, if he can try to get through, maybe try to break away a little bit, knowing that he is going to have to pit once more this race. See if he can use them to his advantage, get a gap. So when he comes to, it's about a 30-second pit stop here, maybe a bit longer. About as long as Silverstone's pit lane, which is torture with the slower speeds as well. But if he can get a good gap, I think he's got a chance, really, and a chance to come back through the pack if he can minimise the time lost in the pit stop that he's going to have to do. And the safety car is now in the stop, so it's going to be Blood Diamond will back the pack up, as everyone's going to be trying desperately to get any little bit of heat left into those tyres, as he allows for the safety car to disappear off in the distance before you don't want to go too early. But a short pit lane here before you actually hit the pit limiter. So, and with that long straight coming up as well, doesn't want to go too early and give anybody any sort of opportunity before he goes. And now he has gone, but he's actually caught Vexman really, really napping at this moment in time. 7/10 of a second. Wow. He's really been caught napping as Vexman at this point, but tell you what, Jack behind him has not been caught napping. He knows this is really key. What happened to Thomas? Did he pit again? I think he did. So he's now down in 8th. Came out in 3rd as well before PT was. But everyone away nicely. Ooh, bit of understeer there. Blood Diamond 3 seconds, Monster 3 seconds as well now. So pushing hard on this restart. Tyres aren't where they want them to be. They're not warm yet. They are not offering the levels of grip that the drivers need. Don Walsh is now coming and having a look at Monster up the hill. Wow, what a move that is, but Monster's been forced to go very, very, very wide. And he's now lost another place to Thomas as well. But Monster's on the hard tyres, don't forget. He is going to take a little bit of time just to get used to them, see and feel where they're going to come into it. Blood Diamond's now got a second over Vexman. Should saw another little bit of carbon fibre flying there. Grimo on the hunt. He has to make it past PT. Those soft tyres of PT. He's going to have the grip. He's going to have the overall turning and the acceleration. This is where PT needs to make it. And you could see it there. Wow, Grimo's right up the back of him going into Rivatsa, and suddenly 0.6 of a second further back now. But look, this get Liquid Gas going on Vexman. Liquid Gas has now got that move done. What's PT going to do as well? Has another look. Can't quite make it through at this moment in time. He's going to have to be a little bit more patient. Wait now, but unfortunately had to back out of it. Has now lost a little bit of ground. 4/10 now is that gap, but Liquid Gas in, you would have to say, the prime location that he needs to be at this moment in time. Blood Diamond, only 3/10 hasn't been able to disappear into the distance. But of course, those medium tyres, a lot more worn. Oh, it goes very, very, very wide. Nearly drops it at the top of the hill. Oh, he's struggling for grip. The understeer is abundant there, and now Liquid Gas just feeling where the hard tyre grip's coming from. And he's just taking his time, just being smooth, bringing the tyres up to temperature. And he's closing that gap and pulling away from Vexman, it has to be said as well. Don't forget, DRS is now available as well, folks. So it's going to be crucial. See what he can do now as, wow, Blood Diamond has now bailed. He's seen how he knows those tyres are not holding the grip. They didn't go through that heat cycle well at all. A bit earlier, I think, than what he would want to do. And unfortunately, it's going to put him to the back of the field, and some way back it's going to be with everyone in close quarters. But that's him now. Thomas has found his way back. Wow, he was in 8th. He's now back up into 3rd. Really good recovery at the restart from Thomas. We're just doing what he needs to do as well. Whoa, Vexman! How did he keep that out the wall? What a save that was. He's dropped him further back, but I tell you what, I bet that a few drivers behind him had a few bit of heart attack as well. That was hard work from him. Who's that went wide? That was Grimo. He's making his own lines. I think he nearly took that corner in Turin. He was that far off the track at that point. That is a horrible helicopter cam, folks. Do apologise for that. We'll get away from that one. Don't know why it seems to do it at this track, but more importantly, at the front, Thomas is within half a second of PT. Has that 3-second penalty, but PT at this one is over a second behind Jack. That is crucial for Jack trying to get away. But I tell you what, PT has a fantastic Rivatsa. Does really, really well through there. Sets the fastest lap of the race in a 17.6. Just beats Jack's fastest lap. But PT does like to close up at this point. Probably frustrating Thomas a little bit as well. Don't forget, Jack and Thomas on the same set of tyres, both on the hard tyres. PT has to pit again because he's on the softs. I mean, if he can make them last 20 laps, that would be an incredible drive. But Dom through into 4th, the lead of the Red Bulls. Mike's now running really well at this safety car restart. Blood Diamond, the pit stop off the leaders at this moment in time, about, just under 30 seconds, but it'll be perfectly clean air, can pick his braking points, pick his turn-ins as well, and just get his head down and set fast lap times, and he should be okay with his tyres now towards the end of the race. Let's actually just have a quick look. Which tyres did he go on? The hards. It is, so he'll be perfect towards the end of this race now. He can just go, get his head down and push on and see what he can recover from the fantastic first stint that he had behind his teammate and Liquid Gas. Dom's just a little bit further back. PT's closer this time round than he was last time. He's actually in the DRS now with Jack. So he had that little battle with Thomas. And now, once he sort of broke Thomas... Oh, no, Mike. went wide into Ravazza, got an extra penalty, and that is now, unfortunately, game over for you, my friend. Disqualification for that amount of penalties. That's so unlucky. But you're having a good restart as well, so keep going. We'll see you next week, I'm sure. 14 laps to go, folks. Grimmo's got past. Ooh, goes very wide, but gets past Don Walsh once again. I think this battle's going to keep on going. Monster just sitting there where he needs to. Just keep an eye on it, ready to pounce when something happens from these two battling, and then he could sail off, I'm sure, into the distance. But we shall see. Top three. Let's go back to these guys. There is PT with that penalty and the soft compound tyres. Whereas we've got the drivers around on the hard tyres. No one else really would have to pit, it would have to be said, apart from Blood Diamond, who's done 16 laps on those tyres. Let's have a quick look again, just to remind ourselves. Sorry, it's Vexman, who was 17 laps on those hards. I'm sure he'll try and go as Peaky now does go into the lead of the race under the DRS conditions, but that's now allowed. Look at that. Grimwood, another 3-second penalty as Don Walsh has got past him. Morrison needs to play the game now. Grimwood's going to have to push hard, try to get rid of any of those penalties and try to minimise the damage. As course, Vexman has now pitted and puts the medium tyres on. He's going to be quick in the final stages, the final third of this race, and Grimwood, don't watch that battle. It's just not ending, is it? I'm sure that's going to be ding dong all the way to the end. Look at this monster, he's still just there, still waiting to seize an opportunity. But let's go back to this top three. I'm sure we're going to see. Tell you what, Thomas, great exit outside of the chicane. He's going to try and have a look, but now he's got boxed in a little bit because PT had to go defensive and had to because Liquid Gas got through. But has he done that too soon? Has Liquid Gas got through far too soon, and now the DRS is going to be wide open, and it is because there it isn't. He got it done perfectly. Wow, Liquid Gas actually got the DRS, got the move done in Dravazza and got the DRS. PT is the big loser. Didn't see that one coming at all. Jack timed it absolutely perfectly to get past the Ferrari, got the drive, got the move done, and the DRS, which has helped save him from attack. But now we've got Thomas and Liquid Gas. This is battle number 20 already this season. Moses got past Don Walsh. We missed what happened there. Not actually sure, and he's just about a second behind, but this is now where Moses needs to get his head down. Keep with Grimmo because of the difference in the penalties at this moment in time. Let's just bring those up to remind people. It's 9 seconds for Grimmo, so he could potentially lose out to... hang on. Oh, no, I'm really confused. He will still probably lose out to Don Walsh, I think, at this moment in time. PT, Monster, Don Walsh, Blood Diamond, and Vexman all on 3 seconds. The top two are clear. As it stands, 20 laps in to the opening round of Season 9 in MRS. What's happened? PT's decided now that's it. He's had to pit. We knew he had to once again. Wonder how many tyres he's got left. What's he going to pick on? He's going to put the mediums. They're going to go very nicely towards the end. But now that's elevated Grimmo into third, Monster into fourth, who should actually get that third spot after penalties. We'll see how the remaining 11 laps go, of course. But look at this two. Top two. Still battling. Still fighting. 11 laps to go. Thomas takes the lead up the hill from Tosa. And now Jack's the one to follow once again. And I have a feeling, folks, this is going to be a season-long battle. I have a feeling PG's going to be in there as well. I have a feeling that we're going to have Blood Diamond in that battle as well. I think Grimmo, Don Walsh, Monster are all going to be there and thereabouts. I think we're going to have a very interesting season. I think we're going to have multiple winners. And, well, you would hate to call the championship at this early stage. And I tell you what, I'd like to think with a couple of races to go, I still wouldn't like to call the championship because the race we've seen tonight has been fantastic. Wheel-to-wheel battles. Very fair as well. Grimmo just trying to close up. behind his teammate. Yes, he's got those 9 seconds. Yes, it'll hurt him later on, but we'll see what happens. Another DRS overtake there for Jack. He takes the lead once again. Wants to do what he needs to do. He's just outside the DRS, but he's in a good position at this moment in time. So is Dom Walsh. We've gone back to that really horrible, blurry helicopter cam, but we'll get rid of that. Blood Diamond had to make that pit stop a little bit later on, but let's see. He's going to start coming in PT as well, as Thomas has retake the lead once more. It's going to happen many times, folks. I know I missed an overtake. It'll happen again. Don't worry. But here we go. Blood Diamond just trying to close that gap on Dom Walsh. Don't forget, 103 seconds of penalties. Whereas Monster needs to close up just that little bit more. Grimo's closing in at this moment in time. A lot. You'd have to say those hard tyres suiting Grimo perfectly well. And I just wonder, because Jack's got to react to the car in front, these two battling, this has now brought Grimo right into this battle for the lead. This is great to see. And I think Jack will be relieved to see Grimo there as well, have a bit of a rear gunner and 2 onto 1. Usually it doesn't go. Will it this time though? One more overtake for Jack. I'm sure that'll change by the exit of Tosa. Come on, folks, if you're watching, hit the like button. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to be the winner. Will Grimo cross the line first? Yes, he has the penalties, but will he cross the line first? What can Monster do with the battle? Can he close up as well? Who's going to cross the line between Liquid Gas and Thomas? How many more overtakes are we going to see? That's a big question. Jack managed to keep ahead this lap up the hill to Piratella, but Grimo's there. He's looking threatening. He seems to be the one with the outright pace at this moment in time. Monster falling back. But look at this, Grimo has the drive. And really is pushing on. Blood Diamond gets another 3 seconds. That's going to really hurt his charge back through. He's not really closing at the rate, not that he would want to be at this moment in time. You'd have to say he's probably under a bit of pressure more from PT behind, so PT with the difference in penalties as well could take that from Blood Diamond at the end of the race, but still a long way to go. A lot of corners left, a lot of action as well, folks, so don't go anywhere wherever you think you are. Almost closing a little bit now on the back of Monster, just over a second. Monster's got that gap back down to under 2. But we're just going to keep with these guys. And it does seem to be Thomas every time at the exit of Tosa just gets that on the power so much better, has so much more traction than Jack, and has made the move once again, and there's nothing really Jack can do about it at that moment in the lap, but then just keeps close enough, and then we'll get the move done, I'm sure, at the end of this lap. But again, look at this Grimo. Really, really fighting hard, really battling well with his teammate. Monster, another 3 seconds for Monster. That's really not ideal. That's going to be 6 seconds for him. Let's go back to these penalties. 6 for him. He needs to keep now within 3 of Grimo to get that position. But the big winner on this one, as it stands... Oh, wow. Actually, Grimo gets another one. Okay, let's reset that. He just needs to keep within 6. Oh, Grimo penalties coming thick and fast. Dom Walsh is going to be the big beneficiary. He could actually find himself on the podium at the end of this. He's having a good battle with Monster further back. Jack had a look, couldn't get it done. Dom got a better exit out of the Rivatzas and gets the move done. Now it's really so vital for Monster to keep with Dom. Dom's going to try to come through and get involved with this battle for the lead, but we've got 5 cars now separated within 5 seconds of each other with the 7 laps remaining. Don't normally see this. So with only the one safety car that we had earlier on in this, and unfortunately Mike Taylor disqualified for excessive penalties. Connor Dinette in the pits early on, and Molson may have got tangled up in a collision, and unfortunately he is out of this race. But I heard people like Vexman and PT, even Blood Diamond, got really held. Oh, Dom Walsh, I think got a little bit too close to the back of Grimo. Nearly loses it, but it's all okay at this moment in time. Monster wasn't close enough to do anything about it, and knowing Monster, he wouldn't do anything either. He would just wait and be patient. Wait for the right moment. Wait for the easier overtake. But now, take 26, folks. Jack down the start-finish straight. Not quite close enough this time around for a change. Petey gets another penalty as well. But he's now on the back of Blood Diamond. Which probably take him a little bit longer as well than he would have wanted. Shows the outright pace that Blood Diamond had. That gap hasn't really changed to the leaders, so lapping at the leaders' pace. There he goes. There is Petey. Back up into 6, so good points off for the Ferrari boys in 5th and 6th. As it stands, there will be position swapped at the end of this. Currently the Aston Martins in 2nd and 3rd. Again with penalties, this could all change at the end. I would have to say the thing that Grimo's going to have to worry about is Petey, 16 seconds behind. We've seen how fast he is early on in this race. If he gets that gap down, it could spell problems for Grimo, and Petey could get back through. I know he does have his own penalties to contend with, but it's going to be an interesting end to this race. 6 laps to go. Top 5 still nose to tail, all within DRS of one another. And trying to pick a winner, it's impossible at this moment in time. Jack gets moved a little bit earlier than he has done in previous laps. Grimo actually smart there, wasn't close enough, shut the rear wing very, very early. Before the braking zone, you'd have to say. Just so that he knew where he was. There we go, PT. We mentioned he was going to come through, and now he has. He's got the fastest lap of the race, 17.4 mediums. Jack goes very, very wide. Doesn't want to do that too often. That's going to really hurt him, especially if he gets that 3-second penalty. That would almost certainly be the win that would be taken away from him if he pushes too hard where the white line is. Thomas now back up in the lead. Monster just pushing a little bit harder to keep within that 1 second. Important for him, because if you don't do that round here, the length of the start-finish straight, you can get left behind. Just struggling a little bit on those tyres, just taking a bit of a breather for now. He will come back in, I'm sure, towards the end. Needs to, with the way the penalties are working out at this moment in time. Take 27. Are we going to see a pass? I'm pretty sure we will, folks. So, it's certain. And there it is. Voila. But I'll tell you what, Grimo's having a look around the outside as well. Can't quite make the move. Thomas, I think, got Thomas a little bit napping there. Thomas had to make some moves. Grimo's now under pressure from the Red Bull behind him of Dom Walsh. Dom has only got 3 seconds of penalties, don't forget. So Dom's in a very, very good position at this moment in time. Most of this trying to close back up that gap this lap to under a second, currently at 1.4 seconds. While everybody still at the front squabbling away, but good result as it stands for Monster. Good one from Grimo, just those penalties. Dom's got another 3 seconds. What's that going to do to everything? It nullifies it with Monster and all the drivers behind, so this is important now. Monster may have just sort of gone, okay, you've got the extra 3 seconds on me, we'll leave you be. That's fine. Now it's a different matter. Now Monster's got to push on. This is for position. He's going to get the one. This is actually for the final podium position, believe it or not, folks. So, what can Monster do? What can Dom Walsh do about the Ferrari behind him? Currently just outside that DRS, but still, what about the top 2? Been going at it since lights out. Even through the pit stops, we thought Thomas would have been stuck because he was in the pits when the safety car came out. Didn't happen though. He was able to get out ahead of Liquid Gas, and then even though the safety car dropped down to 8th, made its way back through very, very, very quickly indeed. And now he's been locked with Jack once again. Monster just dropping off the back a little bit. Don't know if he's not liking the tyres in these cooler, cloudy conditions. Are we going to see, ladies and gents, that dreaded change of forecast with a few laps towards the end? Are we going to see raindrops falling down, making the drivers second guess themselves. Grimmo on 15 seconds now, just pushed that little bit too hard, the dirty air behind the top two there, and when you get to that point, it really does change the way the car handles, the way the car behaves. You can't get it stopped, you can't get it turned in. But look at this is an interesting one. Thomas is trying to make the move down the hill. The DRS point is, well, it's I'm trying to think where it is. I'm sure it's quite a way down that stretch. So has he gone too early? Has Jack played the strategic game? I think he may have done, but he got a good exit, did Thomas, through that one. But look at Grimmo. Grimmo's still now trying it with his teammate. Jack's trying to have a look. Can't make it done, but Grimmo, battling with Tom Boss Monster, has now dropped off the back of this pack. There he is in the background, 1.7 seconds further adrift. And we've got the helicopter start again. Do apologize. Don't know why it does it, but hey ho, we move. And we have now got 2 more laps after this one. Are we going to see do or die? Are we going to see Jack try it with 1 more lap to go? Or then are we going to see, when are we going to see another change? But tell you what, Thomas at this point looking comfortable. He's got 0.4 of a second. Although Jack, wow, and that could be right. What a great corner he is. Just getting 2 tenths just in that corner alone. So a lot more confident on the brakes, a lot more confident on the turn-in than Thomas was. But Thomas gets better traction through there. But this is where the slipstream really comes into it. And he can make that headway back, which he has done. Let's go back, because we know what's going to happen. It's going to be an overtake. And there he goes. In the background, there he goes. So, 2 more laps now. This one, then the final lap. Grimmo's trying to go around the outside as well. Grimmo says he made the move this time out. Oh, nearly. Wow, Thomas gets on the grass. Just about holds it. Could Grimmo have gifted and helped his teammate to the win? Thomas has got 3 seconds. I think he has. All that came from Grimmo having to go on the outside. More entitled to. Just about. Oh, no, he hasn't. Grimmo has lost the rear and damaged his front, taking half his front wing off. Coming out the torso and lit up the back. Oh, that's heartbreak. Heartbreak for him. Battling, what a fantastic move he had as well on Thomas. Got himself into second. Okay, but without the penalties. Wow. Oh, look at this, that's Dom! Dom's hit the wall! It's all happening now, folks. The final laps of this race, it's all happening. There's the Red Bull trying to recover. Petey, what a recovery. We thought, no, he's not going to be close enough, but with Dom and Grimmo having the problems they've had, Petey and Blood Diamond have found themselves back up into 4th and 5th respectively. Wow. They're just rubbing their hands at this one. They're still locked in a battle, don't forget, as well. But as we start the final lap of the race, the second place man, Thomas, has dropped off the back. Petey, Blood Diamond gets past Petey. I think that position will come back. There's 3 seconds difference in penalties at the moment. But another lucky man who was down in 5th wasn't able to keep up with the top 4, and he's now found himself on the podium. Wow. And Jack, locked in that titanic battle. Grimmo make the move to start the final last lap, and cost Thomas a lot of time. Then got the 3-second penalty, and now has just handed the win, and the first win of the season. Round 1 of Season 9 in MRS. Final 2 corners to liquid gas as he exits the final of Atsa. As well, Thomas was still pushing on in the background there, but there we go, the winner is liquid gas. Thomas is going to finish in second, and wow, would you believe it, Monster on the podium in third. Blood Diamond and Petey are going to come across next. But Diamond had some good tyres towards the end. But is he going to finish ahead of Petey? I don't think he is. He's not. So great points for the Ferrari boys. Third and fourth. Blood Diamond, good recovery. In fifth, Don Walsh. So unlucky for him as well. Had a good result in him there. And all went awry and almost finished as sixth. Vexman has now got past Grimmel, who now has absolutely zero front wing after battling with his teammate, and Thomas will round out the final finishes of that one. Wow. Well, there's a lot of good racing there, folks. It must be said. A lot of fair racing. Room was given. Hard but fair. And then the drama at the end. Wow. Did not see that coming. Grimmel, great move he made, and then just went away from him at the exit of Tosa. But there we have the Aston Martin man takes the first win of the season. What fantastic racing. If I was have to give a driver of the day, don't know if you do it in MRS, but I'm going to give one anyway. I mean, I'm trying to think who I could give it to. I'm probably going to not give it to the top three. I'm going to give it to PT on the basis that he had to do the two stop. He put the softs on in the middle stint and had to come back. Yes, he was really gifted it, but I think he just about got it. The joint with that one would be his teammate, I think. Monster played a blinder. He played a very patient game and managed, just while everybody else was losing their cool around him, he gets third and caps off that race with a podium. So there we are, folks. There's your 8 drivers who have finished, with Grimmel in 8th and then Mulson, DNF in 9th. Connor retired early on. He is in the pits there. He is in 10th, and Mike unfortunately did not score because of a disqualification due to penalties. That was a great race. Well done, everybody. Grimmel, so unlucky for you, my friend. So unlucky for the Red Bull as well. But, well, I hope you've enjoyed that one, folks. We have another few races. We are back next week for round 2 at the same time of 7:30. I should hopefully be here, and hopefully be hearing me a lot more this season. Hopefully back on the new MRS racing channel as well. We just couldn't get, unfortunately, up there this evening. So hopefully we'll see that next week. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Share it with your friends and with your family. And I look forward to hearing from you all again. Thank you very much, and good night.